Actually, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing? You just went for your appointment and they gave you the visa. Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl again, Vanny Tedmario. So today I have a guest on the program. He has to share with us his experience as an international student in Germany. So let's dive straight into the gist of the day. So please can you introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Craig. I've been living in Germany for close to 2 years now, and I'm from India.
Okay. So why did you choose to come and study in Germany?
So it wasn't really Germany in general. It was anywhere abroad. So when I was in India, in India we have standards from up till the 12th standard, 12 years of formal education.
Okay.
So after 12th standard, you decide whether you want what field you want to go into, and where do you want to study in your university. So I had applied. I chose I wanted to do engineering, and so I did the courses in. We have a lot of entrance exams to get into universities in India. So I did all my entrance exams, but at the same time I applied to a particular university which allowed me to come to Germany along with my other things, and I wanted to do either my post-graduation, or I was planning to do my post-graduation abroad, but if I could do my bachelor's as well, it would be good. So, and I chose Germany because it did not have any fees for education. It just required the living expense, which was very affordable from my point of view.
Okay, interesting. So, during your application process, how many schools did you apply to?
So I came from a little unconventional method, where I didn't do it how the usual students do it.
Okay.
So my university, in India, which I had applied to, which I got into, acted like
a middle person.
As a middle person, and provided the 13th year of education, which you would do with your student and colleague if you came to Germany directly.
Ah, okay.
So I did my 13th year in India, and my university in India had signed an MOU with the FHWS over here.
Oh, with your university.
Yeah, and so every year close to 30 to 35 students come from my university in Bangalore, in India, to FHWS only, and it's only with FHWS.
Ah, okay.
No other university in India.
Oh,
in Germany, sorry.
Okay. So, does every student in India know about this?
In FHWS, most Indian students come from two universities. One is my university, and there's another university also in my city which has signed with FHWS. And only from these two universities do people come directly. But there are also some students who have come from India, come and done their student and colleague in Berlin, and then from there apply to a lot of universities in Germany, and they have chosen here and have come here.
And so far, how is the relationship with you and your course mates and the professors as well? Is it the same like the way you interact with them in India?
No. In the one difference which I feel in German universities was Indian universities. In Indian universities, attendance is compulsory. We have these things, and in Germany we have only one exam at the end of the semester. But in India we have, depends on the university you go to, but you have close to at a minimum 2 internal assessments per semester, and then your final semester exam. And so to even write your final examination, your final semester examination, you need to have, depending on the university, 75% to 80% attendance of the semester. So that means you can miss only that many amount of classes in the semester voluntarily. Obviously, if you're ill for a long period of time, you are obviously given that time off. But if not, and you're like missing classes because of another reason, you're not able to write. You won't be able to write your exams. So, and because of that, when you in classes over there, you ended up staying in class a lot more, interacting with the professors a lot more, and so the professors know you and all of that. So you're constantly attending college. But over here, there is no incentive to attend college because all our notes are provided online.
Yeah.
Our university does not have attendance mandatory. They don't take attendance.
Yeah.
So the relationship over here is seen only when a professor is either you're done really well in the professor's subject, or you're really interested in the class and you keep seeing the professor in class and you keep asking him questions and all of that. That's the relationship over here compared to India. And one thing with me is I came to Germany when it was peak COVID. It was 2020 November. So because it was 2020 November, it was peak COVID. It took me so long to come over here. And then when I came here, classes were online, everything was closed, nothing was open. So I didn't meet much of my classmates until the summer semester. And I met them only because of parties which were happening in and around the city, and we had these clubs and the buddy program which was happening here. That's how I met some of the college people. Otherwise I wouldn't have met them until the third semester. So So from my point of view, I would have preferred Indian thing, like you're forced to go to class because then you're forced to meet your classmates. You're forced to do projects together or whatever. So that's the initiative. But obviously, I like it over here a lot more.
Okay. So, you don't have any idea if there's an Indian community here in Schweinfurt?
We don't have a set Indian community, but there are a lot of Indian students here. And so you meet them during class, on the road, or you go to parties, or you go to some house party which is happening, or you're just seeing them in some club. And obviously Indians sort of like attract together, no matter what. And I think so that's with every community. So there's no fixed Indian community here in Schweinfurt, from my knowledge at least. But when it comes to the students, we know each other sort of.
Oh, okay. Right, so now let's move on to your living expenses. How much do you pay as house rent, health insurance, and semester fee?
Okay, so I have about 450 euros fixed expense.
Okay.
That means every month 450 euros goes out of my bank account in some form or the other for bills.
Okay.
So I pay 300 euros for rent, 108 for my health insurance. Then depending on which mobile bill you take, that is there. I have subscriptions to a few apps which I pay monthly because I use those apps a lot, especially like Spotify. Because here in Germany, if you take like a 9 euro SIM card from say Vodafone, you get only 3 GB a month and 3 GB of data a month. And I love listening to music, and so I pay for my Spotify premium because I get to download my music and I don't have to spend my data when I'm outside listening to music. So and with Spotify they have, in Germany at least, to my knowledge, it's 5 euros a month for a student membership. For a student membership, it's 5 euros a month, and I'm fine spending that 5 euros a month because it saves me a lot much.
Data.
It saves me a lot more data, which I can use for emergencies.
Okay.
And then a few other memberships, which I'm not sure, but close to 430 to 450 goes out of my bank account every month.
And how much do you pay as health insurance?
108 euros from TK.
Oh, TK.
Yeah.
All right. And your semester fee?
Semester fees, I think so, it's 97 euros per semester.
Okay. And how much do you spend as feeding?
For food, I spend around 50 euros for 3 weeks. I buy food which is sort of non-perishable, and I'm able to keep it for a long period of time. So I do some meal prepping. So I buy food for like which can expire in a week, but I cook it immediately, and I keep that food over some time in the fridge.
Okay.
And that helps me a lot, but it depends from person to person. I love cooking, so I buy fresh food, and obviously I cannot keep cooking every day.
Yeah.
And some days I'm just lazy, so I order in once in a while
And
enjoy it.
All right. So far, what are some of the challenges you have encountered here in Germany?
German in general. German for me
too. German is a nightmare.
Yeah, but it's also like German is easy but difficult at the same time. There are a lot of words which are similar to English. The grammatical structure is a little confusing but very similar. But there's also a lot of the language which is very different. So forgetting vocabulary, and the grammar just keeps getting messed up depending on the tense or whatever. But I've been able to manage, but I know I'm in a different country and I need to learn their language. So apart from German, not much difficulty here, because with technology it's very easy. Google Translate, you have a lot of translation apps, especially speak to text, where you can just talk into your phone, it will show the translation, and the other person can talk in their language, and it translates it back to you. And it's easy, but I think so what I've taken advantage of here and taken for granted is the city which we are living in right now is a very international city. Compared to a lot of other cities, it's very international. So a lot of these stores and offices and anything, they have people who speak English. And that is a huge disadvantage for somebody who's trying to learn the language.
Exactly.
Because if given a chance, you would want to come back into not less effort, your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah. What are some of the cultural shocks you've experienced here in Germany?
Everything is closed on a Sunday.
In India, it's not so.
In India, Sunday is like a shopping day.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Saturdays people work. There are some jobs where people work on a Saturday, and Sunday is their only day off.
So they get to shop on Sunday.
And Sunday is when you can do, like, if you're feeling bored at home, there's always something to do outside. Here everything is closed. Yeah, I'm so bored on a Sunday because I go out, everything is closed.
Everywhere is like a graveyard.
It's a graveyard, and you don't see people outside on a Sunday.
Everybody's resting.
Yeah, and that's the only cultural shock, because I'm used to international people. In Bangalore at least, we have a lot of international people and international friends. So I was not exposed. There's not much of a cultural shock because I knew a lot of Europeans back in India.
Okay.
But culture shock was Sundays being closed.
All right.
And a lot of things closing at 8 o'clock.
But I learned that in bigger cities, there's some shops that close at 10 o'clock. So like in Hamburg, in Berlin, some shops close later.
Really?
Yeah, like around 10 p.m.
Okay.
Maybe because our city is smaller, I don't know.
Could be, but again, I'm coming from a big city in India, and
all
our
shops till what time?
9:45,
okay,
9:50, even 10 o'clock. So the thing is, say for the I need something for the next day of school. I've forgotten it till last moment. I can always run to there's one or two supermarkets which are always open.
Yeah.
Which I can run to no matter what till 10 o'clock. But over here,
8 o'clock,
8 o'clock close. And back in India, at least I used to go grocery shopping for the next day or something like that. 7:30 in the evening. Because we'd be out the full day doing other activities. 7:30 in the evening we would go and shop.
But if you were to do that here,
oh, you're screwed.
Time.
You're screwed. You have half an hour to do it, all your shopping
for the whole week.
For the whole week.
No. So far, what do you like and dislike about Germany?
I don't know. I think so. Because I'm staying in a very small city, or we are staying in a very small city, it's difficult to judge because I'm coming from a very big city, one of the biggest cities in India.
Okay.
So nightlife is different. The people are different. There are a lot of... What I don't like about Germany is I like the noise and chaos. It's too quiet here.
Yeah. For me too, it's too quiet.
That's what I don't like about Germany, but otherwise I like everything. There's no thing which I don't like culturally or anything. I'm used to it, so it's...
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you prefer the life over here in Germany or the life in India?
It's quite difficult to say because in India it's a lot more freedom in a way of... I've been born and brought up there, so for 18 to 19 years I've been in India continuously. And so I have my license over there, and I have my own vehicle. I can move around, and which is nice, but over here to even go somewhere it's a lot of buses and public, and if you want to take a taxi it's very expensive. If you want to take electric scooters, also expensive. So you're either forced to walk and conform to bus timings, or you have to get a cycle, otherwise you're screwed. Especially in a small city like this. If you're in like Berlin and Munich, Frankfurt, Hamburg even, you're a lot of like S-Bahns and the U-Bahns and all of that. So
and
trams. So you can... Those are very easy to move around the city. But I'm talking in the perspective of a small city in Germany. Yeah, and the taxis, you can't like call them off the side of the road.
No.
You have to ring them up and say, hey, I want a taxi at this time from this place to this place.
And then they come to you.
Yeah,
there's no... expensive too.
Yeah, it's very expensive. In India we have Uber.
Okay.
We have and on Uber we can get a small car, we can share the cab, or we can get a tuk-tuk.
Okay.
So we can just, any place with your app, if you can just say I'm here, there are about 10 different taxis or tuk-tuks around you.
Ready to pick you up.
Ready to pick you up. And it's not that expensive comparatively. And you have these things called share cabs. Uber Share or Uber Ride or whatever, where you can just put your address from where you want to be picked up, where you want to be dropped, and you along with 3 other people can share the same cab. and they'll pick you up from your place, pick up 2-3 other people, drop them on the way, and that way you get to sit in a car with AC and you have less fares.
But here, as they pick you up, it's you alone till you get to your destination.
Yeah. Unless you decide to share that, and if you go with friends, then you decide to share it with friends.
Yeah.
But still, it's expensive.
Yeah, it's very expensive. So how do you cope with not having your family or loved ones around you?
Luckily, I have family here in Germany. I have a cousin who stays in Germany and 2 aunties, which is good. But apart from that, my parents and my family, I call them up almost every 2 days. Every 2 to 3 days I call them. Sometimes even every day my mom will call me and I'll speak to her. So that way I don't get to miss them too much.
So how long have you been in Germany?
2 years.
Oh. Okay. So when you're done with studies, do you plan to go back to India or you prefer to stay here in Germany?
I won't be going back to India for any future, for like when I'm looking into furthering my career. I'm not looking at Germany either. I'm looking at some other country in Europe. But if I come back and stay in Germany, yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
I look to working abroad. As in, when I say abroad, I mean not India.
Okay.
That's it.
So India is not your destination?
Yes, mainly because we have too many engineers.
Ah, I see.
And
what's your course of study?
My course here,
Yeah.
business and engineering.
All right.
But even though that is, it might get me like a little better job, but the pay is not as great as here. The facilities are not that great as here, and I know there are a lot of other things. Even though there's family over there, India is a great country to stay in. But once you come abroad, going back it's like taking a step backwards. Because the facilities coming from a developing country to a developed country and then going back to a developing country to work where the pay is not that great, it doesn't seem logical.
I see.
But I don't mind going back to India on something called an expat salary, which is where you work enough in a company which has one of their branches in your own country. So they send you to another country and they pay you with the money of the host country.
How was your interview and how long did it take for you to get your visa?
For my visa, it took me a long time. Again, because I was coming during COVID.
How many months did it take you?
I think so. I applied in July or August, and I ended up getting my visa in November.
Okay, so when you attended the appointment for the interview, what are some of the questions you were asked?
Actually, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing? You just went for your appointment and they gave you the visa?
I went for my appointment, submitted all my documents, which are required to be submitted. Then they asked me one question. What are you going to Germany for? And I told them I'm going to this university. I'm going to FHWS to study engineering bachelor's in business and engineering. And they're like, okay, seems legit, stamped. And they're like, when you get your visa, you get your visa.
Wow, it's really easy over there. Or it's only for students who are coming through your route?
I don't
like that for everybody.
I think so. It was at a time when they were handing out only they were handing out only a specific amount of specific visa for specific reasons. It was either because you had to go to you've gotten admitted into a university abroad, and you have to go to the university, or you've got a job posting abroad and you had to go to that country for the job. They require you to be there. I think so only for those reasons they were handing out visas during that time.
Okay.
So they asked you, are you going for a job or your studies? And I told studies. And then they're like, okay, cool.
Wow.
But if I had to apply right now, it's a whole other different thing.
So everything has changed?
Yeah, now it's going back to normal.
So how is it normally?
Normally it is, when you apply, say, to the embassy, you have to say, I'm applying for this, I'm applying for a travel visa. Why are you traveling? I'm traveling for business. Okay. What business do you have there? How long are you going to stay there? There's a lot of other questions because you're traveling for business.
What about if you're traveling for school?
Then they just ask you, what are you studying? Which city are you going to? Do you have a house to stay?
These are the questions they're asking you.
Yeah, and do you have enough money in your bank account to prove that you are?
Okay.
Which is required by the thing.
By Germany, yeah.
Yeah. So, and we have a lot of travel agents. And a travel agent will tell you need, before you go for your appointment, you need this paper. And you have to submit all your documents to a travel agent. Then the travel agent will make sure, okay, all the documents are ready. You have all your documents. Then he'll book your appointment for you. Then you go to, then he'll say, come on this day, at this time, to the embassy. Then you land up on that day. The travel agent will have all the required documents which you have already submitted to him. He's taking the required copies needed, all the papers in that particular order, and he just gives it to you and he says, okay, go in. Your appointment is now.
Alright, so far, what advice do you have for someone or for a student who is looking forward to come and study in Germany? What advice do you have?
Study German. Okay. That's it. If you're already looking to come to Germany, you're meeting a lot of the criteria which is for the visa to come. And one thing is, you should see which city you're going to. Learn German in a capacity of, you should be able to talk to a local and express your concerns or problems or whatever. And over here, I didn't know much German when I came here, but I picked up a lot of German by talking to people. So talk to the locals, but learn basic German so that you don't seem absolutely clueless when you come here. So you can read the signs, you can ask for basic direction, you can go and ask the supermarket for certain things, you can ask around in a shop or the doctor's appointment or whatever. So just need basic German, and obviously you can come here and learn again. There are a lot of apps online, so that's one thing which I would say. If I had to redo coming to Germany, I would take learning German more seriously.
Okay.
That's
all right. Then we have come to the end of the interview.
Yeah.
It was a nice one.
It was a nice one.
Thank you very much for honoring my invitation.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this interview. So
really?
Thank you for having me.
All right. Will you want to have more?
Yeah, if you call me more for some interview in some time,
okay.
I'll come.
Okay. Looking forward.
Yeah. You can call me in after I graduate, and you can say how's after graduating and how you work afterwards. Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. We are going to do that. Alright, so we have come to the end of the interview. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. If you haven't liked this video yet, please do well to like it and subscribe to the channel as well. Until then, I see you in my next video. It's a bye-bye
Peace.
from us.